Church. I am today beginning to tell the story of a man named Jonathan Edwards. He is known as America's greatest theologian. So he was born in 1703, and he was born in Connecticut. And by the age of 14, he was already a student at Yale. So he was pretty bright, quite intelligent. He was gifted. And by 17, he had finished his master's degree at Yale. And oddly enough, that same year, he had a very deep and devout experience with God. He went through some distresses in his life, and he ended up coming out of it closer to God. A quote from him at the time goes something like this. Forgive me, I'm paraphrasing. But he said that I wish that I could be brought low into the dust so that I am nothing and that God is everything. And to be in front of him as a lowly child. And so this quote shows us the deep love and affection that he had for God and his understanding of his place compared to God. And so, with this, he was led into the ministry, and he began helping at a church that his grandfather preached at. And it was around that time, he was around 20 years old, when he met his wife and got married, with whom he would eventually have 11 children. But at this time, he described his marriage kind of odd too. He wasn't the most passionate man, you could say. He was much more analytical, more about the facts and the numbers than in touch with his emotions. And so his marriage was not the usual one, but it was unique, and they made it work. And so he ended up becoming the sole pastor of his church in Northampton, Massachusetts. And from there, he began becoming more and more popular in the region, to the point that he eventually his church broke out in revival. One year, it was December, they had 6 conversions to the church, which was a lot. That was a great month. It was awesome. But by the spring, the next year, there were around 30 conversions happening in this church every week. And more were just coming to his church to hear his preaching, more and more by the droves. And people were coming to Christ. It was awesome. One observer gave an account saying that he did not convince people with his eloquent words or his beautiful imagery. However, it was with his devout and his devout arguments, logical arguments, as well as his overwhelming feeling that he portrayed through his preaching that was so powerful to the people. And so he spread the word of God and the news of Jesus to many people. And next week, we will see how his revivals continue to grow. So thank you. Let's bring the music.